How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I hope this video finds you well, that you are safe and you are healthy and your family are the same. We are currently living in unprecedented times. We are going through a period of our lives that may never happen again. Fingers crossed it doesn't. The outbreak of the coronavirus has absolutely shook the world. We are uncertain as to how long it will last, the severity with which it will hit us, whether we are going to come up with a vaccine, and many, many more things, including its effects on our health, our jobs, our finances. All sorts of things are up in the air right now. Fear essentially is gripping the world because of uncertainty, because we are not sure what is going to happen. And ultimately, that's what fear is. It is being uncertain of a particular outcome. Now, we need to make sure as a population and as individuals, obviously, that we don't panic, that we don't go overboard, and that we try to control the things that we can control to create some level of certainty to reduce that fear, not only as individuals and as families, but eventually that will have a knock-on effect to the population. This means, now please bear in mind, I'm no expert here, I can only give you my opinion, but the guidelines and regulations that are put in place across the world for lockdown are there for a reason. They are there to ensure that not only you stay safe, but others stay safe. And I think that sometimes that's a little bit lost in translation. The majority of you standing here watching this video are likely following me because you're relatively similar to me. You may be male or you may be female, but the chances are you're probably quite young, you're probably quite healthy, you're probably trained, you probably diet fairly regularly and at least eat clean. That's why you follow me, for the resources that I give to you. This puts you at relatively low risk, but it's important to remember that not everybody is as low risk as you, that a lot of people out there have weaker immune systems, they are older, they may have underlying health issues that are going to be very, very drastically affected by the coronavirus. And by you following the rules and by you cooperating, you are going to prevent them getting ill. You could save their lives by cooperating and following the regulations that have been set out, no matter how annoying you may think they are. Secondly, the medical staff all across the world that are putting themselves in a very, very dangerous place, working double, triple shifts to try and ensure the health of our various nations. They're coming together to prevent us getting sick and at least to help try to save lives. We, at the very least, can stay in one place for a couple of weeks to help them and to try to save as many lives as possible and ease the pressure off the medical system. Your parents, your grandparents, hell, you may even have great-grandparents who fought in wars for us. If they were able to storm the beaches in Normandy for you to have a life, you can stay in your house for a few weeks for them to have a few more years added to theirs. Pretty simple, okay? That bit aside, because of this, and if you are sticking to the quarantine as you should be, the chances are you're training at home, you don't have access to much equipment, you may have kettlebells, you may have bands, you may have something that you can use. What I want to do today is to try and explain to you how to use a few of the videos that I've put in this playlist to allow you to exercise at home, to get the mental relief and the endorphin rush that offers you. Now, let's start off by answering a few questions. First of all, something that I'm getting asked a lot is, am I going to lose all of my gains in the time that I'm in quarantine? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Even if you stopped training completely for 2 to 3 weeks, you're probably not going to lose anything, okay? Providing you're dieting correctly, you know, you're not eating shit, providing you're eating good, nutrient-dense foods, or as much as you can get, you should be absolutely fine. If anything, for a lot of you out there who train very, very hard, very, very consistently, there may even be a period of super compensation where you actually make gains in those few weeks because your recovery has improved. That being said, the majority of you who are conscious of training and conscious of your health are still training. You're still getting down there on the living room floor, you're doing push-ups, you're doing pull-ups on a door frame, you're doing pull-ups on a tree or a climbing frame outside. Use what you have around you, and trust me, nothing is going to go wrong. With regards to your diet, now there's a lot of things being thrown around, people saying, oh, this diet is going to do this diet is going to do that to Corona. Inevitably, as with all of social media, there are always going to be advocates for every diet that make up all kinds of crazy stories to try and sell people on that diet. This disaster, this pandemic, is no change. There are people trying to capitalize on it in order to get you to buy into their product, okay? Don't fall for it. Very, very important. The fact of the matter is that any diet that can help you maintain a strong, healthy immune system is going to be the one you want to be eating, not only now, but all of your life. And hopefully a lot of you who are watching me have been doing that, because you know I advocate that. That is not depriving yourself of carbohydrates. That's not depriving yourself of meat. That's eating good, high quality meat as much as you can get in the times that we have. It's eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, ideally organic if you can get them. And it's eating carbohydrates well enough to be able to sleep. So eat your carbohydrates late in the afternoon or evening, or after you've trained, even if it's body weight stuff. Get your carbohydrates in to help manage your stress levels and to help ensure that you are sleeping. Anxiety may be high for a lot of you right now, so this is very, very important. One of the other things that some of you are asking me is, but the supermarkets are empty, I can't get this, I can't get that. I think one of the best suggestions I can give you is, number one, don't go in and buy everything in the supermarket. Please try to remember, as I said earlier in the video, that there are loads and loads of people who need that food as much, if not more than you do. And they may not be able to get to the supermarket as regularly as you can. Maybe they don't have cars. Maybe they're too old to have their license still. Maybe they are in a wheelchair. All of these things are going to be occurring. You just may not be aware of it. So try not to be selfish. Think of others. Take what you need, nothing more. It's gonna pass, this is. So don't stress about things. Try to make sure you're looking after those around you. That being said, one of the issues that is going to occur from an economic point of view is that a lot of small businesses are likely to be hit extremely hard right now. So if you can, source local farmers, source local butchers, local producers who you know right now are probably going to be struggling. Go and ask if you can buy their food, if you can get potatoes from them, if you have a big cattle farm or something like that, someone who is producing good quality local food that is going to need your help as much as you need theirs. Try that. It's going to really, really help out. If we are eating correctly and we are still exercising, we are going to be able to relieve our stress. We are going to be able to keep our immune system strong, and we're going to be engaging our body and our mind, which is going to be extremely important over the coming months. Another thing is learn something, do something. If you've been saying that you wanted to read a particular book or you wanted to develop a particular skill, now you have that free time. So do it. If you want to start a business, now is that time to get in and do it. Set up a website, now is the time. Start that skill, start drawing again like you used to, or learn how to play the guitar or the piano, or one of these things that you've been saying for years and years and years that you will do when you have time. Guess what? Now you have time. Do it. All of that out of the way. What you will see in this playlist is a few videos that we use on our Live Up plan, okay? The Live Up plan is our low-cost online personal training plan that we've developed through UP. It's a predominantly gym-based program. We also now have a body weight program, which I'll put links in the description box below to. The videos you see here are snippets from them. Within the main dashboard that our Live Up members get access to, they have a network of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of workouts dependent on the phase they are in. We are doing gym-based programs, kettlebell programs, band programs, body weight programs, dumbbell-only programs, barbell-only programs, you name it, they have access to it, and it's fully supported with dietary guidelines, supplement guidelines, etc. What you are seeing here are some of the workouts that have been extracted from that program to give to you for free, so you have something to do during the corona outbreak to make sure you are engaged at home. Now, what I would recommend you do to try and figure out how to use these correctly if you're still watching this is the body weight ones. Realistically, if you're relatively well conditioned, you are relatively well trained, you can even do the body weight ones every day if you like. Be aware of your recovery, be aware of your joints, especially on some of the more explosive ones, but you can do them day after day after day because you're not adding any external load. With regards to the loaded stuff, such as the kettlebells, dumbbells, or barbells, I would train them every other day, okay? So do something different every other day. If you're doing fewer rounds, let's say you're doing 3 to 5 rounds of a workout, maybe you can do them every day. If, however, you're doing 5 to 10 rounds as instructed, you may need a day's rest in between to allow you to recover. Don't get into the habit of overtraining just because you're a little bit bored. That wouldn't do you any good, and that will negatively affect your immune system. Another thing you can do is, because obviously you don't want to stagnate while you're watching these videos, so you can go from one to the other. If you have a few different pieces of equipment, do a different workout every day and rotate them. That stimulus is not only going to keep you mentally interested, but it's going to stimulate your body and your muscle tissue differently, which is going to be extremely beneficial for you. So a steady rule of thumb is to train every other day. For all of you out there, training every other day is going to be more than adequate for you to do. So pick whichever workout you want. They're all full body. That's how we've planned them. They're all full body. So pick one and do it every other day for between 5 and 10 rounds. And you will find that you probably even make gains. Certainly from a fat loss point of view, if you're eating correctly, you're probably going to lose fat during this period. You will certainly maintain muscle, if not build it, dependent on how you are lifting. With regards to weight selection, let's talk about things like the kettlebells, the barbells, etc. What we need to be looking at for your sets is that with each set you do, that you are heading anywhere between 1 and 3 reps close to failure on certain exercises. Now, of course, if you're doing, say, the dumbbell or kettlebell workouts, when I say 2 to 3 reps close to failure, you're probably going to need a couple of different weights because the shoulder press movements are going to be weak. So ladies, I would imagine for the majority of you out there, if you are relatively untrained, a good starting area for the dumbbells or the kettlebells on the upper body stuff is somewhere between 6 and 8 kilos. Now, I know that some of the Live Up squad who are doing this, some of the females are shoulder pressing well over 20 kilos, which is great, but not everybody can do that. So I would say if you're an absolute beginner watching this, start between 6 and 8 kilos for the upper body stuff and double that for the lower body stuff if you have access to weights. Same applies to guys. The majority of guys, if you're a complete beginner, you should still be able to press between 12 and 16 kilos above your head. So for the upper body stuff, you want to be looking at between 12 and 16 kilos and between 1.5 and 2 times that for the lower body stuff. Okay, so you can go a lot heavier for the lower body stuff. That gives you a bit of a rough idea of what kind of weights you need to be looking at. If you're watching this and thinking, right, well, I need to order some stuff off of Amazon, then this is what I will get. We're also putting together, which I'll put a link in the description box below, we're putting together a package that you can just really, really quickly order off of Amazon to try and take the thinking out of it for you, that you can just pick up your barbells or your kettlebells or your bands or everything like that, so you know exactly what you need to get through these workouts. Really, 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 really simple. So, train every other day, alternating these workouts, using whatever you have. And it's also worth doing, once you've got to grips with a few of the exercises, mix and match them a little bit, play around, do some of the ones that really challenge you, adjust some things slightly to keep it fresh. It's important that it stays fresh in your brain and you stimulate the body in a different way every single time. Make sure you are eating correctly. Don't start eating crap just because you have nothing else. This is going to affect your immune system. And yes, it is likely to make you more susceptible to the coronavirus should you come into contact with someone who is positive with it. You also want to make sure that you are eating right for your body, for your mental well-being, for your neurotransmitters, to keep you in a good, stress-free place and to keep anxiety down. With everything that I've said here, it's important that you listen to your local authority because it's different for all of us wherever we are. Listen to your local authority, the local resources that are being put out, and cooperate with them as best you can. If you don't, this could well last a lot longer. We are uncertain as to what it is, how long it's going to last, how hard it is going to hit us, and the absolute best thing we can do is try to follow the rules that the experts have given as a best guess as to how to get rid of this. I'm not an expert. You are not an expert. The majority of the keyboard warriors on Twitter are not experts. We leave this to the professionals. We take their advice, we listen to it, we do our absolute best to adhere to it, and hopefully for all of us, this will end very, very soon. I hope this video has given you a little bit of a perspective on the coronavirus and also how to use the workouts that I've put down. Maybe quashed some doubts about what's going to happen to your body. You are not going to lose muscle, so don't worry about it. You may not progress, but this is not what it's about. It's about keeping the wolf from the door. It's about keeping you mentally active, keeping you physically active, and preventing regression. You may not progress. Some of you will progress. It depends how committed you are to it. But it's not about that, so relax. The idea is to try and keep yourself in a very, very good physical and mental place over the coming months, because it may last a few weeks, it may last a couple of months. We need to do our absolute best. If you have any questions, any input, or you want to give me any kind of suggestions of the sort of stuff you may want to see, pop them in the comments box below. I will also put links to the full Live Up program in the boxes below as well. If you want to jump on that, join the community, the Live Up community, the forum, everybody's still supporting each other, and get full access to all of the workouts, all of the diet, etc., 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 then click that link. Anything else, give me a shout, let me know. Don't forget to like, share if you like the workouts, and to make sure that people on your Facebook, your Instagram, everything else, get involved. And a great idea is when you're doing these workouts, share them out as much as possible. Get them all over Instagram, get them all over Facebook. You have my complete permission to share everything. And then call your friends on Skype and say, right, we're going to do Elliot's workout today. We're going to do the Live Up workout. We're going to do UP Fitness this workout. Get your friends on Skype, throw it to your big TV screen in your living room and have a big group exercise session. This is how we are going to get through this, by sticking together, by working hard together and cooperating with the guidelines that have been set for us. I wish you all well. I'm sending as many good vibes as I possibly can out to everybody. Stay safe and we will see you on the other side.